Hey everyone, Christian here. Today we're going to be demoing the initial beta for Cube Whisper, which is the ARR waterfall automation plugin that I've been working on. To start, we have a classic customer cube ARR revenue database here, where vertically we have anonymized customers, some information about what type of product they're using, as well as their monthly revenue values extending to the right here. Off to the right here, you can see this is completely empty for now. And down here, this is empty as well. So let's go up here to the ribbon and launch the menu. So here, the first thing it's going to prompt us to do is select our values. So we're going to go up here. We'll select our date values. We can hit tab, come over here, select our customer values, come over here, and select our ARR values. Okay. The next thing we want to do is hit our filter selection. So this is an optional aspect of the menu, but if we want to do not only our total ARR waterfall, but also do cuts for one filter for now, we can select that here. So let's go ahead and enable and go over here. We'd like to generate an ARR waterfall for each one of our product types. So we're going to select this range here, and it'll automatically generate ARR waterfalls once we run the program for each unique type here. The last thing before we get to application settings is our frequency settings, and this just specifies if we'd like to run monthly, quarterly, annual, or annual, but apply to a specific month. So in this case, October, for both the helper column calculations as well as the ARR waterfall. Lastly, we can just decide whether or not we want to run the waterfall on its own or the helper columns. The helper columns are not required to run the waterfall. It runs completely independently, though it's all still formulaically driven, which I'll show you in a minute. So with that out of the way, let's hit run. Okay. The helper columns are just generated, and now we just generated our waterfalls. So to start, these are all formulaically driven, as I mentioned. We have our quarterly for both the total, the base package, the pro package, and the trial package. And if we go off to the right here, we have our annual as well as our LTM. And everything here, as you can see, is formulaic. So whether if it's for LTM, it'll point to the previous sheet. You'll see that these tie here. Maybe we'll look at quarterly. So this will look at the previous sheet, whereas up here, it'll just look at the period and annualize it. So same thing happening here. There's our growth calculation, LTM. This is taking the beginning balance, so it's equal to March. And down here, it's going to be applied to the filters. And anytime we want to go check out a value, just as if you had done this manually, you can come here and say, okay, what's driving this big upsell in October of 2020? We go here and we can say, this customer 14, they did a big upsell there. So we know that's mostly where that's coming from. Okay, hit home. Now let's go to the back to the data sheet. So as I noted before, down here it's empty. We have our total roles with our customer counts now, so you can see how that's scaling over time and tie back to it for any checks or any other analyses that you would need to do. And over to the right, we now have our helper columns. Again, as I mentioned, this isn't being used in our output tab, but in case you do need these to do a more complex analysis or just a reference, or perhaps you need to prepare it for some sort of outward-facing customer cube, that's all here as well. And like I mentioned, these are all formulaically driven as well. So you can go back and trace anything that you need to trace. Anyway, that's the end of my tutorial. I hope this helps you guys out. And if you have any questions or if I can be of any help, please just let me know. Thanks.